Bill O'Reilly here. You are listening to the O'Reilly Update. Coming up next, the news with Mike Slater.
Thank you, Bill. It's Tuesday, August 8th, 2023. Here's what's happening today in America. George Floyd, police officer sentenced. Tanks officially on their way. Major storms across 10 states. And Beyond Meat sales dropping hard. All coming up. Then Bill will be here with your message of the day. But first, in light of the NASCAR driver getting indefinitely suspended for sharing a meme of George Floyd, with George Floyd as a crab saying, under the knee, the last Minnesota police officer involved in the death of George Floyd has been sentenced in state court. 4 years, 9 months. That's the top of the range under state guidelines. This man previously testified that he merely served as a, quote, human traffic cone when he held back concerned bystanders. He said he never intended to hurt anyone that day. And he talked about becoming a Christian during his last 340 days behind bars and denied any responsibility for George Floyd's death. The first batch of U.S. Abrams tanks officially approved for shipment to Ukraine over the weekend, set to arrive by early fall. The United States has already begun training the Ukrainians for the tanks in May in Germany. This, of course, after the U.S. said we would never send tanks at all. The Ukrainian foreign minister said, "I've thanked the United States for all the assistance provided and stressed the need to enhance Ukraine's long-range missile capability." So more will be coming. Nearly 1 million customers are without power as severe storms have rolled through 10 states: Georgia, North Carolina, Maryland, Pennsylvania, Tennessee, Alabama, South Carolina, West Virginia, all with power outages. There was a tornado warning in Philadelphia. And finally, Beyond Meat, the plant-based meat company, reporting a 30% revenue decline in the second quarter. My favorite thing to see during COVID, all the COVID mania, was when people were in a panic and they bought everything they could. Remember then? We had no idea what was going to happen. We had no idea when you were going to be able to leave your house ever again, if it was safe to breathe outside. This was the eve of the zombie apocalypse. Quick, buy everything you can. We're going to be stuck here for the rest of our lives. And people bought everything, but left the case of plant-based meat untouched. Even the risk of being shut in for weeks couldn't get people to buy the stuff. But don't worry, the people who run the world will not stop until you are eating bugs. There is plenty of money behind the movement. I'm Mike Slater from the podcast Politics by Faith. The great Bill O'Reilly is here with your message of the day. Next.
The chairman of the Fed is promising more pain ahead. Last year, stocks dropped 20%, and this year could be worse. You are right to be worried. So please call the only precious metal dealer I trust, American Hartford Gold. They'll show you how to protect your savings and retirement accounts by diversifying your portfolio with physical gold and silver. So please call today and they'll have physical gold and silver delivered right to your door or put inside your IRA or 401k. Tell them Bill O'Reilly sent you, and they will give you up to $5,000 of free silver on your first order. Please call 877-444-GOLD, 877-444-GOLD, or text GOLD GOLD to 65532. Again, 877-444-GOLD or text GOLD to 65532. Time now for the O'Reilly Update message of the day. On this Tuesday, recently on the cable news network News Nation, Chris Cuomo introduced me as a guy who would defend Donald Trump. Puzzling. My analysis on all powerful people, including Mr. Trump, is based on facts. So if real things happen, I insert them into my broadcasts and articles. 2 examples. Since I sometimes speak directly to Mr. Trump, I can factually state that he has never wavered in his stated belief that the election of 2020 was stolen from him. Is that a statement defending Trump? I also reported that the former president believes what he wants to believe and seeks out opinions that correspond with his own. If federal prosecutors attempt to impeach that analysis in a court of law, they will lose. What I am telling you is fact. Example number 2, Joe Biden saying he was not involved in Hunter Biden's foreign money grab. The president says this because that's what he wants to believe, just like Donald Trump. He is absolutely rationalizing his demonstrable interactions with his son. Those who despise Trump or Biden generally don't care about facts. They convict or acquit based on political preference, what they prefer to believe. This is American society today, and that's a fact. I'm Bill O'Reilly. I approve the message by writing it. You can reach me, Bill at BillO'Reilly.com, Bill at BillO'Reilly.com, name and town if you wish to opine. Now let's go to the mail. All right, Zeke says it's obvious the goal of all these hearings about the Biden family's impeachment. My question, if the findings occurred while Joe Biden was vice president, what's the justification for impeachment? Because he lied about it as president. Simple as that. And if he ever took bribes, that's not established, but if he ever did, it doesn't matter whether he was vice president or a private citizen. Bill Forrest, Woodbridge, Virginia. Politicians lying is now a criminal offense. As the left says, they're going to have to get more paddy wagons rolling out of Washington, D.C. Paddy wagon is a slur, but I don't mind. Paddy wagon came out of New York because on the weekend, so many Irish were drunk in the streets. This is at the turn of the 20th century, that they had to load them into wagons and take them to jail so they could sleep it off. The wagons were named Paddy. Paddy wagons. If you say that now, the woke people wouldn't care about Irish, though. Nah, they don't care. George Luna, Berkeley Heights, New Jersey. On multiple occasions, you've suggested that Michelle Obama would be a viable presidential candidate. Why? She has no political experience. It's not about that. Donald Trump had no political experience. About popularity. George. Lowell Lee, Schweizwig, Iowa. It's time to get folks off the Trump bandwagon. He's obviously dishonest and a very divisive person. We do not need him to be our next presidential candidate. Well, Lowell, I mean, our is a primary. Republican voters want him, we'll get him. But I respect your point of view. I'm not challenging a point of view, but it's a lot more than you. In a moment, something you might not know. If you own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles and have an auto warranty about to expire or have no warranty at all, listen up. Car Shield has a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that's now available to the public. Save on out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. So please call Car Shield now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. 800-925-7584 for a free quote. Drivers who activate the vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. So please call for your free quote, 800-925-7584, 800-925-7584. Hey, what do you have to lose? 800-925-7584. Now the O'Reilly Update brings you something you might not know. 49 years ago today, the President of the United States delivered a televised address from the Oval Office. After 18 months of political chaos, Richard Nixon announced his resignation. Here is the story. 2 years earlier, a group of men were arrested at the Watergate Hotel complex in Washington while breaking into the Democratic Party's national headquarters. The suspects had ties to the Nixon White House. The president denied any involvement, but his staffers were eventually implicated. In July of 1973, Nixon's top aides revealed the existence of tape conversations. The tape showed Nixon knew about the break-in, the subsequent cover-up, and hush money payments. On May 9th, 1974, the House of Representatives began impeachment hearings against Nixon. 2 articles, one for the abuse of power, the other for contempt of Congress. Nixon's approval rating tumbled to 24%. On the evening of August 8th, 1974, Nixon addressed the nation.
I shall resign the presidency effective at noon tomorrow. Vice President Ford will be sworn in as president at that hour in this office.
And here's something else you might not know. In December, Gerald Ford, the Speaker of the House, became the first person appointed to the vice presidency under the 25th Amendment. You'll remember that Vice President Spiro Agnew resigned in disgrace 2 months earlier after the Justice Department uncovered evidence that he took bribes. The vote to confirm Ford, again, the Speaker of the House, was seen by lawmakers as a unique opportunity to choose the next president because members of both parties knew Richard Nixon could not survive his second term. So just weeks after Ford was selected as vice president, the White House chief of staff called him up and said to him, quote, "A new Watergate tape will be released on Monday. Prepare for the presidency," unquote. Back after this. In these tough times, owing money to the IRS can be overwhelming, leaving you confused about the right approach. Scary radio ads about the IRS only add to the stress. But you can relax and breathe easy with Tax Relief Advocates, TRA. Regardless of whether you owe $5,000 or $50,000 in tax debt, TRA ensures you no longer have to fear the IRS. With a proven 3-step resolution process and expertise in IRS special programs, TRA helps taxpayers get back on track, boasting 5-star ratings on Google and Yelp, plus an A+ rating from the Better Business Bureau. TRA is the trusted choice. If you feel trapped by the IRS and debt, do not lose hope. TRA can significantly reduce or eliminate your tax burden and offers a guarantee no payment if they cannot reduce your tax debt. Please visit TRA.com or call 800-575-2193, 800-575-2193. Thank you for listening to the O'Reilly Update. I am Bill O'Reilly. No spin, just facts, and always looking out for you.